Welcome to Ubuntu Sports Podcast. We are talking about this is a match reaction for the Springboks versus Wales game. Very interesting watch, I must say. Not really an exciting game like that for me personally, to be honest. Possibly more exciting for the fans who are watching live. This is definitely not the best Springbok performance we've seen. And the scoreboard tells another story. That's the crazy thing. 43-0. But the amount of errors that we witnessed by the Springboks were shocking. My gosh, they were shocking. I don't know what they were trying to do. I don't know if it's the shuffle with the new players that have come on. A lot of new players. Credit to new guys like Vuyo Moyo and Williams out there on the wing. Those boys look very good for the future. Bright players, and they're very good at what they do. Williams there on the wing, as well as Moyo there at fly half. So I am looking forward to what those boys are going to do for the Springboks in the future. Very exciting times. This is the second time Wales and Springboks, a Wales and Springbok game ends scoreless for Wales. All right. The Boks previously beat them 73-0 in Cardiff last year. Wow. That's even more painful because that was at home. And so now this is a back-to-back no results for the Welsh. It was quite brutal for them, I must say. Wales under coach Steve Tandy got a jarring of where they stand on the road of World Rugby in 2027. It's the World Cup already next year. If Wales don't get themselves together, they're going to definitely struggle in the World Cup next year. So we'll see how that goes for them. The win moves the Springboks, of course, to the top of the log in the southern section for the Nations Cup, as expected. As expected. Of course, we're going to be the top in the Southern Hemisphere, We are just destroying everything in our path right now. Okay, so despite the scoreline, it wasn't the Boks' most clinical performance, as I've been saying, some of those knock-ons and those missed opportunities every time they got into the Welsh 5-meter line. The ref was just blowing left, right, and center for errors that the Springboks were making. And it was like, oh gosh, like that could have probably ended close to 90-something 0, to be honest with you. But we'll still take the win. And it was still a big win against the Welsh, which just shows that the Springboks weren't even close to being at their best. And they still destroyed Wales, I love the Welsh, to be honest with you, because they've got the best home and away fan base. They're the sort of fan base that even when they're losing and the other team did well to score the try, they will still clap for the opposing side, clap them on, because they'll be like, yeah, no, that was brilliant play by you guys. So I love the Welsh supporters. They're very friendly. They're they are good for rugby. That's for sure. They slipped and slacked on a lot of attacking opportunities. As much as all these mistakes happened, they still won 43-0, of course. Wales showed a bit of grit, I must say, for long stretches, despite losing the possession and territory before ultimately succumbing to the Springbok pressure. Yeah, shame. I really felt bad for them, I must say. I really did feel bad for them. But yeah, Tandy, the Wales manager, just needs to go back to the drawing board and figure out, because when I looked at the previous fixtures, they've beaten teams like England and stuff. I'm not saying that England are great or anything, but I think England put up more of a fight than Wales did in this Nations Championship against the Springboks, anyway. But yeah, I guess it's just whoever decided to pitch up on the day. But I must say, Wales need to definitely work on their scrum. There's definitely a bit of a structural issue there where I don't know. I felt like they just didn't put up any competition against the Springboks in the scrums, knowing of course the Springboks have got the best scrum in the world, but still, if you looked at the Scottish game and the England game, I mean, those guys put up a bit of a challenge in the scrum here and there, as much as we still dominated the scrums. So yeah. Wales. But like I said, I love my Wales people, and I do wish them the best. I mean, any team that's going to come up against the Springboks is definitely going to get a rugby lesson. So I'm not surprised at the results as well. We were always expecting that. So the Springboks have now won all three of their July fixtures. They beat England 45-21, they beat Scotland 42-28, and they beat Wales 43-0. A clean sweep of their home window. That puts them at the top of the Southern Hemisphere in the Nations Championship. The format, reminder for listeners, 12 teams, right? Split into the northern six nations, and the southern nations as well. So, if I'm correct, it's the regular Six Nations that play in the Six Nations Championship or competition, which is obviously England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, France, and Italy. All right, up against the southern, which is New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, Argentina, and we've added Fiji and Japan into the mix as well. So it's quite an exciting competition, I would say. I mean, it feels like a little mini Rugby World Cup, if you ask me, just stretched out through the year. But I am looking forward into the next Springbok fixtures, because the New Zealand the New Zealand tour is coming up, where New Zealand are going to come play against a few of South African clubs like the Sharks, Stormers, and the Lions. I think the Bulls as well. And then after that, they're up against the Springboks. Like I said, the only thing that I didn't like about this setup is that I felt like we're giving them good preparation for 2027 World Cup. But where I do see the positives in all of this is that I do think that our players are also going to get good experience to try and make it into the Springboks, especially at club level when we're playing against New Zealand. Guys are going to want to prove themselves that they can do it against New Zealand, which means that they deserve to play for the Springboks. So that's going to be quite exciting for our players to get that experience against the world number 2. I mean, they don't even feel like number 2. These guys feel like they're down somewhere, I don't know, at 5, 6 or something, And it was so entertaining yesterday, seeing the highlights of the Ireland and New Zealand game. And of course, New Zealand were winning. And the commentators are like, oh, Springboks, you better watch out. This New Zealand team looks like